Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call this meeting of the Woodford County Fiscal Court to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Squire Taylor.
Here.
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Marner.
Here.
Squire Charles.
Here.
Squire Tony.
Here.
Squire Black.
Present.
Squire Gill.
Here.
Squire Brown.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Offering our invocation tonight is Pastor Tony Harden of Journey Church.
Thank you, Judge. Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we begin this meeting aptly by honoring you. And God, I just thank you for all the blessings that you continue to bestow on our community. And God, I come to you tonight with a heaviness. As in our country, there's just so many examples of just civil discourse that has devolved into violence. And God, I pray that this community would be a shining example, a lighthouse on the hill of unity. And so I pray that each of these magistrates tonight, that they would argue with their core convictions, but when their legislation is passed, that they would leave this place speaking with one voice and therefore showing unity. Lord, there's too many times that unity, or that disunity comes from the top down, and I pray that you would continue to bless us in this county that we so much love. And so tonight I just want to pray a special blessing on each of these magistrates, on this judge, on this court. And God, we just want to just honor you. And I pray that they would do good works that would do just that. And Lord, I offer my prayer in the name of your Son and my personal Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. If you're able, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I move on to public comment, I would like to ask the court's brief indulgence for good of the county of sorts to recognize a great county employee who has decided after 18 diligent years of service to Woodford County to retire. And I'd like to welcome Steve Helmick. Steve, if you would, please come up to the podium. Steve has done custodial work and kept our courthouse sparkling clean for many, many years. He's done so faithfully. He's done so with few words, but with such great work. And Steve, we are so proud of the work that you've put in and the service you've given to Woodford County, and we wish you all the best on your retirement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's my honor to do so.
Thank you. So I'd like to present you with a barrel head. And members of the court would stand. We'll take a picture with Steve.
Here's a little gift from me.
You are more than welcome to be excused. All right. I would open up the floor for any public comments. Anybody wishing to speak to the court or address the community? Seeing none, I'll move to the, yes, sir, please.
Address the court.
State your name and approach the podium.
My name's Trey Schott.
You mind to turn on the mic, please, sir?
My name's Trey Schott.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm coming before the fiscal court to request that you examine the planning and zoning decision of the rural residential zone change from A2 to RR. That's before you. Chucker Hill Equestrian Village on Scotts Ferry East will be a unique sport horse facility that is not found anywhere in this county. Besides a residential cluster of 14 lots that will share a 20-horse stall barn, 8 paddocks, indoor and outdoor riding arenas, a grass
Judge
jumping
and
field.
Mr. Schott, I'm sorry for interrupting. If the fiscal court is going to entertain this, they would have to entertain a counter opinion, because what you're doing is presenting something to the court that may not be in the record. And the fiscal court, at this point in time, has not indicated they're going to do anything other than rely upon the records submitted to them by the Planning Commission. So it's inappropriate for the fiscal court to hear anything that goes beyond that unless they've decided they wish to do that. And if they wish to do that, they have to allow each side to make a presentation. I want to make sure the record is in good shape, whatever record may leave this fiscal court. And to allow one side to bend the ear of the court and not the other would not put that record in a good spot. So I don't make that decision for the court, but what I'm hearing is you referencing things that may not be. It's kind of like giving your opinion on what it would result in, and that is probably not in the record. And the fiscal court, unless they choose to allow you to continue and then allow someone to come in to give an opinion for the other side, or to give the same kind of presentation you're giving for the other side, it would be, in my opinion, inappropriate in terms of what they must do. They are like an appellate court in a civil case. They take a record and they make a decision based solely on the record, unless they make a decision to do more, to have comment from each side, or to open it up for new and additional testimony, none of which has been brought up at this point in time. So as we stand or sit here this evening, my understanding is the fiscal court will decide either by vote or inaction based solely on the record. So I understand your desire to get this before the court, but I don't know that the court should consider it unless they are going to choose to entertain more than the record submitted to them.
Okay, thank you. Then I'm just here to plead and to ask you to please review our application, which is before this court, before the 90-day expiration period. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schott. Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you.
Are there any other individuals seeking to address the court or the public by virtue of public comment? Seeing none, we'll move to the approval of the minutes of the special and regular meeting of September 9th. Are there any additions or corrections to any of those minutes? Any questions thereon? Seeing no questions, are there any objections to approving same? Seeing no objections, I'll approve the minutes of September 9th for the special and regular meetings as presented. Reports, we are pleased to have with us Ashley Jackson of the Woodford County Food Pantry, who's doing a great job. We really appreciate all you're doing, and we welcome your update to the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need to state my name in the mic?
I stated it for you,
Okay.
but if you want to reintroduce yourself, you're welcome to do that.
Sure. So my name is Ashley Jackson, and I am your Woodford County Food Pantry Executive Director. So I'm thankful to be here with you tonight, and I brought a report that Kelly has graciously passed around for me. That way that you guys can see our highlights and what exactly we have going on and how we're helping your food insecure in the county. I also, at the time that I'm going to go over this briefly, it's just a brief report. I'm going to just pass around so you guys can see what we do. We actually use this report right here, and it tells us like the heads of household and how many families that we have helped. In May, if you guys can see, it says we've had an increase of clients at the top of the report. In May, we were at 166, which we thought we were doing really good at that point because we had brought it down some. And then the head of households, we have increased by 30 each month after that. So I'm going to just send these reports around so that you guys can view those. And I like to show data. And then if you'll see the second report that's there, it's going to be from just this past month, which is our completed month. And the last month we served 214 heads of households. So you can see the big increase over the last few months. And then we were at around 400 families, but we went up to about 455 total and had 24 new clients just last month. So some of our highlights that we have done in April, I was with you guys in February, so I just kind of started in April because I went over some things that we had coming up during those next few months. So in April, we were graciously able to get freezers donated from Lowe's. They came out and took a picture, and the newspaper come out, and I'm sure some of you all have seen that in there. May, we done our postal drive, which we brought in 6,080 pounds of food at that time. We were very thankful for that because we don't have a drive from January to May, so it really makes our shelves bare through those times. So unfortunately with the postal drive, and I would like to say this, maybe you all can help motivate the postal people to consider this. The cards are dropped in the mail that Thursday, and then they pick up that Saturday, and a lot of times we get a lot of outdated food, so we had to give away to the blessing box about 2,000 pounds because it's in our policies and procedures that we can't give outdated food to our clients. So we also had the Prime Timers event. I've been trying to get around to all the churches and just thank everybody because we have 26 church members on our board, and I want to meet people in the area, so I've been going to a lot of churches. So if you see me at your church, please say hello to me. And I want to thank you all for that because the churches do distribute a lot of food to us throughout the months and all that. We have a lot of churches that are very active through the month to do that. So I just wanted to thank them in person and just let them get to know me because I'm new to the area. During that Prime Timer event, we did raise 200 pounds, and I got to speak on the behalf of the food pantry. In June, I wrote into January and submitted the Kentucky Colonel's grant for our beef distribution. Currently, we are sitting around $20,000 per month per year that we give for beef that we buy for the pantry through donations through our citizens' generous efforts to be able to allow us the opportunity to be able to do that. So the food pantry itself spends about $20,000 just in beef. So to kind of alleviate that burden on it, I wanted to go and submit this grant for that, and we were awarded that. So I was very thankful. We were awarded $6,000. I did submit $9,000, but they didn't give us the full $9,000. So in June, because we weren't able to get the full amount from the Postal Service, I did a new drive. It was National Hunger Awareness Food Month and National Hunger Awareness Month, and we raised 2,698 pounds of food. So that was really good for us during that time because it was a new drive that we really don't have. I have talked with Kelly, and it was around the time that Squirrel, our president, had passed. So we want to try to make it an annual thing, and she's going to work with me to do a special event, and I look forward to that. Kingsway Church too. In June, I went to their Young at Heart event and talked about the food pantry. So I'm always trying to advocate for the food pantry and just, reestablish those relationships and just let, everybody know like what's going on and just being a voice in the community. In September, it's been a really busy month. We hosted the at Roland Ovens and in memory of Squirrel, we done the redheaded event. I'm sure you all seen that. It was so much fun. And they raised $593.73 pounds of food for us. And some of you, among you, I'm not going to tell you who was a part of that event, and they were redheads that was running across your streets with me, actually. So we also done the Twilight Festival. We sit up there and talk to a lot of the clients that actually come through. I got to see those and just talk to a lot of the kids because we were down there around the kids section. And, I just told them, if you ever need food, you come to the food pantry. And I gave them ginger candy, which was healthy. And then I done the Midway Presbyterian Church that same weekend. And I talked to them at their Minute of Missions and talked to them about this year I'm doing something new. I'm doing a turkey drive. Last year we done around $10,000 we spent on turkeys alone just for the food pantry because we wanted the families to have a turkey, and a lot of them said, I wouldn't have been able to get a turkey for Thanksgiving and Christmas if it wasn't for you all. So they really was appreciative of it, and we want to continue that, but we don't want it to be a burden on the food pantry as far as expenses go. So what I've done is I've created a turkey drive, and if any of you all want to advocate for that or be a part of that, you can come to the food pantry. I'll have a slip that says how many turkeys you want to donate, and you can get them on sale, and we'll take them because we're actually in the middle of doing our expansion for freezers, and that was one of the reasons why we had to do it the way we did it before, because we had to pre-order all the turkeys. We had no space, and now we are graciously able to accommodate those things. And then we just this weekend we done a hunger action awareness drive. We brought in 3,181 pounds of food and $4,282 in monetary donations. Our shelves were pretty bare up until this, so I do want to do a special thank you. Judge James Kay, he done a video for me, and I had a lot of people reach out, a lot of people after that. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that you done that. It was just a small gesture, and it meant a whole lot. It went a long way. So I want to thank you for that. And we were able to do a lot during that drive, and we just really appreciate it. And I just want to thank the community and thank you all if you were a part of that in any way. Then also I was contacted by Jack Caneford. They're actually in the process right now of filling up a Ford F-150. They have the whole back. I've talked to her today, Donna, which is their marketing lady, and she told me that they have the whole back of the Ford F-150 that's filled up, and they'll be bringing that to us by Monday of next week. One of the other things that I would ask that the community participate in is they have actually selected us for their high school. They do a test drive. It's a 2-minute test drive, and for every test drive, they want 200 people. They donate back $30. So with that being said, they donate $6,000 of that. It's $8,000 total if they get all the 200, and there's $6,000 that goes back to the high school, and then they have gave us the other $2,000. They selected us as the nonprofit that got the other award, which would be $2,000 if they get all of those. So if you guys could just go out there, and you can find that on their social media, how to plug into that. And we also have another drive that the Democratic Women's Convention is doing, and they'll be hosting that September the 28th. So our ongoing and upcoming activities, we are obviously doing a freezer expansion campaign. You all have seen that in the newspaper, and we really needed that because, like I said, we couldn't even get turkeys that were on sale. So it's a really big barrier to us not be able to store things that we can do to accommodate making the burden of the expenses less when we can do that now. So we're really excited, and we're well on our way to meet that. And we also had a $25,000 match. Somebody said that if we could match $25,000, they would donate that $25,000. So we're really excited about that. And we have our up-and-coming Girl Scout Scareaway Hunger. It's going to be set up at Kroger, October the 27th through the 30th. It's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. And I also want to tell you, I've started submitting grants. I was able to plug into about 100 organizations across the state of Kentucky that help fund in the wheelhouse that I work in with the nonprofits. And I'm getting ready to submit one right now for King's Daughters and Sons for $20,000, and I want to cover the rest of that beef distribution. And so I'm in the process of submitting that. And I'm just really active, and we've been doing a lot in the community, and I just want to thank the community again for all of their support and just everything that they do for the food pantry. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I just try my best to let you all know how grateful that we are. And thank you so much for having me, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate you very, very much. I think it's important to note that we're seeing an increase in clients each month to the food pantry along the lines of 30 clients per month increase. Ashley, before you leave, I know that Sherry and Joe are here from Solid Waste and Recycling, and they want to surplus their 2x2 Mettler Toledo platform scale from solid waste to the Woodford County Food Pantry. So I would entertain a motion from the fiscal court to surplus that scale. Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Downey. Thank you, Joe and Sherry, or thank you, Joe and Lisa. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. So we'll get you a scale over there. We'll try to get you some turkeys. We'll try to get you some help. And thanks for all you're doing, Ashley. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great evening. God bless you. And now Squire Carl is on their board as well. Following in the foot. Absolutely. Following in the footsteps of your great husband. Madam Treasurer, your report, please.
Tonight's balance is $13,392,491.78. We are still waiting on a pretty substantial amount in reimbursements, mostly for the annex project for HVAC. And we will need to do a budget amendment at the next meeting, the October 14th meeting, for that USDA grant. According to DLG, it's better if we just go ahead and amend the budget for the entire amount, and then we have it available to spend as we need to. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Any questions? Seeing none. Director Chandler, I'd ask if you had any updates. I want to give a brief update about what we did in the Committee of the Whole, but I want to recognize Cross Point Church and Pastor Brian Roberts, who donated $1,101.41 to the Woodford Foundation. And as a member of that board, I would ask that you receive these funds and deliver it to your treasurer, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. And that will be earmarked for those who have been impacted by the floods. Thank you to Cross Point Church. Let me go ahead and give a report of the Committee of the Whole. There was some very, very important work that was done by the Fiscal Court and the Committee of the Whole. First, we approved the interlocal governmental agreement between the City of Frankfort and the Woodford County Fiscal Court for the $8.5 million sewer project to the Millville area. We went over the terms and conditions of that interlocal agreement. We approved that along with a resolution and an authorization for me to sign any and all documents related to that interlocal agreement. And that will be the first big step in moving the Millville sewer project forward. The second item, which is equally important, if not more important, was the notice of grant agreement and award by the United States Department of Agriculture, Natural Resources Conservation Service for the Emergency Watershed Protection Program, which is commonly known as the buyout program for the floods. We approved that agreement and award, and that is in the amount of federal funds of $9.3 million and non-federal funds in the amount of $2.8 million. So that's a total of $12.2 million of total funding potentially eligible for buyouts. That was unanimously approved by the fiscal court in the committee of the whole prior here too. Seeing no other business to come before the special meeting in the committee of the whole, we moved on. Does any other department or agency have a report for the court? I don't recall any. I don't have any. So we'll move on to the general orders and unfinished business. The claims, the bills to be paid by this county are before you. Are there any questions or comments about any of the bills to be paid? Most importantly, are there any objections to the bills to be paid? Seeing no objection, I'll approve the bills to be paid. I would note that we have several ratifications. We do those in the form of one motion. So we have the September 16th email approval of the sheriff's Visa claim in the amount of $1,404.08. The PNC claim in the amount of $15,391.12. We have the claim from Galls in the amount of $1,139.98. And Forged Holdings in the amount of $2,770. And the last two were for the sheriff's office using asset forfeiture funds. We need a motion to ratify all of those claims. Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Taylor. Okay. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. I will note that we ratified email approval of the estimate for NOS services in the amount of $7,500 for WISA tree line cleanup and parking lot work. That has not taken place yet, so I would ask for a motion to approve same.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Downing, second by Squire Blackford. Are there any questions?
I'm abstaining from this.
Madam Clerk, please note that Squire Taylor has abstained and recused. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. As the clerk so appropriately mentioned, we need to approve the claims in the Galls bill in the amount of $1,139.98 and Forged Holdings in the amount of $2,770. That is in the sheriff's office using asset forfeiture funds. Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor of approving same, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. We need to approve the transfers and the quarter-end transfers as presented. Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the personnel order as presented?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Gill. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. We have an update on the Big Sink Sidewalk Project. AECom submitted their invoice, and we need a motion to approve the invoice for AECom in the amount of $41,724.38 for professional services and renderings for the Big Sink Sidewalk Project.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. We move on to new business. We have an important piece of business, and that involves net recovery. I would recognize Squire Carl to discuss the approval of the net service agreement and the amendment and the connection to the Woodford County Detention Center.
Yes, and what we're going to be asking for, and with this also, is that we're going to ask for the court to approve 2 more devices. We've had, with County Jail, they've had success with this program. We did at our last meeting got to see this individual. They had a video. He had come in. I'm going to ask Freeman to come up because he dealt with this situation and how the recovery with this individual went. And again, we don't want to run out of these devices, do we, Freeman?
No, not at all. As we came to y'all and we very first started this program, we wanted to try this to see if the device would work. Some of us was skeptical of it because we'd never seen it in action. The individual that they're talking about was at the detention center. I met the police officers out on the side of the road with him. and he was extremely sick, going through withdrawals. He had been to the clinic that morning, got a Suboxone, and he had also been given Narcan on the side of the road. So he had went through everything he could do. There was nothing that the hospitals could do for him, and he had to go to the detention center. He kept asking me for to go see Michelle, and I was like, Michelle who? You know, and he said Rankin. He knew that she would take care of him, that he was sick. He had been there before. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He kept refusing to go to the hospital. And the officers and my crew asked him what he had taken, etc. You know, since he got out of the clinic, and he said nothing at all. I asked the individual a different question. I asked him, I said, what did you take before you went to the clinic? And he told me fentanyl. So he was quite sick. So once they got him to the detention center and started working with him, Michelle thought of the device, the net device. So she contacted us, and she contacted Nancy, called us, called James, and the device, as you know, was not approved to go into the detention center. So what had to happen was they had to sign a privacy note, the HIPAA form with them to be able to let them come in and do it. So they did that. They put the net device on this young man, and within less than 8 hours, he was totally different. He went from being one of the sickest individuals I've ever seen take into a detention center, and in my 37 years, we've hauled a lot of sick people in and out of that detention center. This young man was probably one of the sickest ones I've seen. He immediately felt the response. He made the comment to us that it was the first time he can remember in so long of having clear memory, of being able to think clearly, make a decision. So that's the third device out of the 4 that we used. We've got 1 left. Now that we're in the detention center with it, we're hoping to be able to use that. He had made the comment to us during the video that he knew people that he could try to convince to use this device, because he never expected that, and he's tried everything. But to be able to see the device actually work was remarkable, to see how he continued to do with it. So that's why tonight Kelly's asking that we add 2 additional to that.
And the 2 additional, that's $5,500 per device.
Correct.
So that's $11,000. I know that Lisa Johnson left the meeting and went to city council, and they have already approved.
They've already approved.
Their 2 devices. So we have a total
Of 5
4.
now.
Well, 4 was what we asked for. Then we have 1 left. So
Yeah.
this would give us 5. So, and I guess with this, within hours, this individual, I mean, major difference, and to see it, and we did get to see it. We did have a video of it. Michelle shared that with us. But it's, again, it may not work for all.
That's it.
If it works for one, that's what matters.
Yes, Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Judge, I was present for that ASAP meeting, as was Squire Blackford, Squire Carl, and our chairperson, Freeman. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We do have to amend the net service agreement to address it being done at the jail. The ASAP board did ask that they report back to the court seeking 2 more, or seeking more. I think Freeman would acknowledge, I expressed some caution, let's not go too big too soon, because
Exactly.
we've seen some short-term benefit. We don't know, obviously, long-term, how this may impact them. But I see no problem with 2 more, and then we'll have some time now to see what is the long-term benefit from this. Hopefully, out of 4 subjects, we should be able to get a good idea of how effective it has been. But to do that at the jail, we do need to enter into this new net service agreement, because it was set up for them to just deal with those at the Isaiah House. And now we need to clarify that this can be done at the Woodford County Detention
Correct.
Center. I would recommend one change in that net service agreement. Our original net purchase agreement was for 2 years beginning April 22nd, 2025. And I can understand this was formatic for them. But they put the term of this agreement is 24 months commencing upon the effective date. Well, the effective date for this would actually be today, September 23rd, 2025, so we would have added 5 months. So I would simply suggest that language, so this runs concurrent with the original agreement, be changed to commencing upon the effective date of the original net purchase agreement, or commence or 24 months beginning April 22nd, 2025. So they run together. Okay, I don't want to add 5 months to this, that the other one will expire, and then we have 5 months on this. So I would suggest that, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney. And if I may, I would entertain a motion to approve Amendment Number 1 to the net purchase agreement to include the Woodford County Detention Center as a facility of service and include the recommended changes of the county attorney and under the same terms, and authorize the judge executive to sign that document. Is there a motion? Motion by Squire Carl. Second. Second by Squire Downey. Are there any questions?
I just have one.
Yes, ma'am.
How long do they have to use this device?
They're there just for a few days with it. The device gets them to where they
It's
get past that
past the withdrawals.
withdrawals, and then they will work with them to start treatment as far as with like the Isaiah House. They'll continue getting that treatment. It just gets them over that hump to where they need to be. And as Alan said, we did see, we had 3 of these devices used. We did get a second response back from one of the other ones. It was a young lady that used it, and she wrote a letter that they had them read at the ASAP meeting that day, stating how well it worked for her as well.
And they continue to wear the device. It stays on them, yeah, for, I don't know how long, but it's continual. Okay.
Yeah.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, we're prepared to vote. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. We also need to approve the net service agreement between the County Detention Center and Net Recovery Corp. for a 2-year term and authorize the judge and jailer to sign those documents. Motion by Squire Carl. Second by Squire Blackford. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. And finally,
No, go ahead, Judge.
Finally, I would entertain a motion upon the recommendation of the Woodford County ASAP Board and the Opiate Task Force Chair that the Fiscal Court authorize 2 more net recovery slots for individuals at a cost of $5,500 per individual to be approved in conjunction with the City of Versailles's approval of 2 additional slots, all using our opiate funds. Opiate settlement funds. Motion by Squire Carl. Second. Second by Squire Downey. Are there any questions thereon? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. That motion carries, and those are approved. Thank you, Director Bailey. Thank you, Squire Carl. Yes, sir, Mr. County Attorney.
Freeman, if you could contact Mr. Lott and let him know that provision for the term needs
Yes, sir.
to relate back. As long as that change is made, the judge would be able to sign it. And we're also going to change the date where it says September 10th for the effective date, or for the date of this agreement, to September, today is the 23rd, so the 23rd. So those 2 changes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you,
Director
Judge.
Bailey.
And thank you, Freeman.
The Millville Sewer Line Project, as we mentioned in the Committee of the Whole prior here too, we approved the interlocal cooperation agreement between the City of Frankfort and the Fiscal Court for the services of the Millville Sewer Line Project. That's a 4-year term with an automatic renewal. We also adopted Resolution 25-8, a resolution authorizing the judge executive to execute the said interlocal cooperation agreement with the City of Frankfort regarding the sanitary sewer project for Woodford County, which was again a legislative appropriation and grant. We have a proposed zoning map amendment for the development plan for Joe Carroll Carter, 10351, 10339 Clifton Road, A1 to A4. I need a motion to direct and authorize the county attorney to draft an ordinance related to the proposed zoning map amendment general development plan for Joe Carroll Carter at the aforementioned addresses from A1 to A4.
And Judge, prior to that motion being made, if I may.
Yes.
Again, just reminding you, this doesn't say you're voting to approve it. You're simply voting to have it in a form that you can make a decision based upon.
Thank you for that clarification, Mr. County
Thank you,
Attorney.
Judge.
Squire Gentry has moved. Squire Carl has seconded. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We also need to direct and authorize the county attorney to draft an ordinance related to the proposed zoning text amendment for Articles 8 and 10 of the zoning ordinance. We have Director Steve Hunter with us. And again, the county attorney's guidelines and direction to the court is the same. This would just be to direct and authorize the drafting of said ordinance. Is there a motion to do so?
Make that motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Gill. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Judge, may I add one point of clarification
Yes,
on
sir.
those two? One being a map amendment, one being a text amendment. As we heard from Mr. Schott, map amendments by statute say that you receive it, there's a 90-day window within which for you to act, or else whatever happened at the commission level becomes final. With the text amendment, you'll recall when we've dealt these before, you don't have that time constraint. So that proceeds at whatever speed you wish for it to proceed, or if you don't even wish for it to proceed at all. But we will have it for you for your consideration. But I do want to make sure you understand and the distinction again between the time frames for a map amendment and a text amendment. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney. We need to renew the Johnson Controls Annex contract for fire alarm protection services October 1, 25 through September 30, 26.
Judge, do we need to vote on that last?
Oh, yeah. We have to actually have the county attorney draft that ordinance. All those in favor of that motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay, and that motion carries unanimously. Now to the Johnson Controls. Is there a motion to approve same? Motion by Squire Downey, second by Squire Varner. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. I would like to note that Maintenance Director Rick Wade has the courthouse looking good in our autumn pumpkins and decorations. And we would like to thank Jeremy Dodson, a local Woodford County farmer, for the donation of the pumpkins on the courthouse. Thank you to Mr. Dodson. That sound good, Rick?
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on to announcements. He's got big plans, y'all. Always big plans. Announcements. Magistrates, Squire Kelly Carl.
Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, the Historical Society will be doing a dedication for my husband. They will be doing a memory brick for him, and I think others also tomorrow night at 6 o'clock over at the Historical Society.
Thank you, Squire Carl.
Thursday night, sorry, Thursday night. I keep thinking it's Wednesday.
It feels like that. Thank you.
Thursday at 6, sorry.
Squire Varner, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Just want to thank everybody for coming out to the youth sale last Wednesday. It turned out great, and the kids had great participation. Well, just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Squire Varner. Squire Gentry.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, Squire Taylor.
Nothing.
Squire Brown, sir. Squire Gill, ma'am.
I just want to thank God for rain.
Amen. Squire Blackford, sir. Squire Downey.
Lunch and Learn Friday at Callie's at noon to 1 with Parks and Rec, Rich Pictor. Thanks.
Thank you. It is interesting that we would be in September thanking God for rain after the beginning of this year, but here we are. Woodford Sun, sir.
No, but thank you to everyone who came by to see our new digs, and if you haven't yet, please come by and I will give you a personal tour, or if you don't want me to, someone else can.
Thank you.
Although mine are very entertaining. I mean, come by.
Thank you, Mr. Woodford Sun. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
No, thank you, Judge.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, thank you all for your diligent work. I appreciate everything that was done. We do now adjourn. God bless you.